just before halftime. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached half. All right, we will save the week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Eagles are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 21-0. Kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Prescott down. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. Touchdown! Philadelphia! Larry Fitzgerald. Already his
second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Eagles.
So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Prescott looking middle, and it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Wilson.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And this one complete to Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. Everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for extra.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I think all teams probably...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. Everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Eric Wilson
in to drop him behind the line for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Prescott from the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 15. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the fourth quarter. And now can really take some time.
And this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Now Flacco will lead him up as they're going to go for 2. Flacco looking to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Philadelphia, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener.
And they'll get a few